Namaskar. I would like to welcome to you all in the fast track program of Himshikhar television. From the beginning of this program, we have been talking about contemporary issues. It is hard to get prosperity of nation due to instability of politics. We are also having political stability in Nepal. It is better to learn from developed country in the context of development process. So the mayor of Town Superior, Colorado, United States of America, Mr. Clint Folsom, has been invited to share the experience about the development process of the USA and sister city relationship. You are most welcome in Himshikhar television, Mr. Folsom.
Thank you for having me.
What is the main purpose of visiting Nepal?
Main purpose is just to continue building our relationship with our sister city, Cadbury. We formed that relationship in February of 2021, but due to the COVID pandemic, we were a little delayed in kind of celebrating that new relationship. So we've wanted to do this trip for a while, but this was the time that we were able to do it, and we're so happy to be here.
How are you feeling in this trip?
How am I feeling?
Yes.
I'm feeling just overjoyed at the generosity and the friendship displayed by the people of Nepal. It's just, it's truly heartwarming to us to feel the love, really, of the people. It's a beautiful country, a lot of similarities with hills to Colorado, and just enjoying the great fellowship of the people and the delicious foods.
Mr. Folsom, do you like nature, ecology, and culture of Nepal?
Absolutely. It's a fascinating history and culture, and we are learning more and more every day. It's not something I knew a tremendous amount about, but it's been very enjoyable to learn about it. Yes.
What are the things to be learned from Nepal for United States of America?
I really love how the people of Nepal celebrate visitors with recognizing them when they, making them feel important when they are present in the, greeting them when they arrive and making them feel warm and welcome. And I think in the United States, sometimes we get very busy with work and other things that we don't always celebrate visitors as much, and so I think we have a lot to learn from the culture of Nepal of treating people with great respect when they're visiting.
Political stability is required to develop the nation and get prosperity. How about political stability of United States of America?
Politics are always a challenge. We just had what we call our midterm elections, sort of between the presidential elections, and not as much controversy, so to speak, with that election. We are going to have another presidential election in 2 years, and certainly be a lot of discussion around that.
The United States of America is highly developed. How did you get this success? What are the minimum requirements for balance the stable, sustainable development?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. I mean, it really does. The success that the United States did not happen quickly. It's been 200 years really since our country was formed, and it's taken all of that time to fully develop where we are today.
The United States of America is highly developed. How did you get the success? What are the minimum requirements for balanced and sustainable development?
I think there's tremendous potential with all of that, with tourism, with exporting foods and other items. I think key to that is going to be transportation. How are people going to get in and get around? And how are the goods that you're wanting to export, how can they get out of Nepal and to other countries? I think there's there's definitely some challenges with transportation in terms of the distances and road conditions and things like that. It's just with the cost of fuel and labor and everything like that. It's the distance is a true challenge.
How can we gain prosperity through the agriculture, tourism, and other natural resource? Have you seen any such potential of development of Khandbari?
It came as a result of efforts by Mr. Narayan Shrestha, who is a longtime resident of Superior, Colorado, USA. He was born and raised in Khandbari and has been a philanthropist and a very generous person in Nepal and really around the world. And he had the idea that he really wanted to make Sister City with Superior because that's his new home in the United States. And so he came to me as a new mayor back when I was first elected 8 years ago, suggested the idea. I loved the idea, and although it took us a while to get it passed by our board, we did get that passed, and just so happy to have the relationship formed. And what that's Sister City relationship, it really is just kind of a platform for the people of each community to exchange ideas, to exchange culture. It's not intended to be government to government, it's intended to be people to people. So residents of Khandbari relate with residents of Superior.
Khandbari Municipality, Sanghua Sabha, Nepal, and Town of Superior, Colorado, USA has sister city relationship. How did you get this success?
Our sister city organization is looking at the Khandbari Bazaar as the marketplace space to look at some improvements to the infrastructure there, so some permanent shelters to keep rain out of when people are selling goods, and also improvements to restrooms and things like that. So yes, that is looking to raise money on the Superior side to help with that effort.
In Memorandum of Understanding, which was signed between cities, art and culture exchange will also happen. How cultural difference have you found between Khandbari and Town of Superior?
Yes, many cultural differences exist between Nepal, Khandbari, and Superior. But I think those differences are to be celebrated, and so we're continuing to learn from each other and exchange those ideas, and I think it's a great benefit for all people.
Mr. Folsom, how can you share experience and support each other in terms of protection of trade and between two cities?
I think the idea of this trip is for us to see firsthand the opportunities that are here, and we're going to share that with others as we go back to Superior. And I'm sure the people here at the local Sanghua Sabha Chamber of Commerce are going to be looking for ways that we can exchange with our Chamber of Commerce in Superior and build upon this relationship.
How do you exchange art and culture between two cities?
I think there's a tremendous opportunity to share art and culture. We've already been doing some of that. We've had some art pieces from Khandbari are now displayed in our community center in Superior, and we're sharing some items here with Khandbari. And the mayor has some other great ideas about other ways to exchange between the two cities. That this will take time, and that we're just now starting this relationship, and so this is something to be built on for many years.
Mr. Folsom, how can you share experience and support each other in terms of protection of trade and between two cities?
We are similar in that we use primarily cars to get around in Superior, and trucks to haul goods. We don't have nearly as many motorcycles and mopeds as we've seen here in in Nepal. Lots more people get around by motorbike and the little the smaller three-wheeled vehicles. A lot of people get around in those. So we don't have those, and so yeah, a lot of similarities, but some differences as well.
What Khandwari should do to be take the town of Superior? Do you have any suggestion to the mayor of Khandwari?
I think the biggest things he will need to do are just evaluate what the biggest needs are from the people of Cadbury. I mean, as a local government, the primary things that we do for our residents are water and water treatment, so sewer treatment, transportation, road construction, and safety of roads, and then of course schools, helping with education. And so those are probably I'm probably leaving out some other categories, but those are the big categories. And there's definitely limited money for all of those things, so it's just going to be a matter of determining what money is available to address the most pressing needs, and making sure that there's as much can be done with the money available.
Mr. Folsom, how can we mobilize limited resources to develop our city?
Well, with limited resources, you just have to really dig in and see are there opportunities for savings, and are there opportunities where outside resources can be helpful to try to bridge those needs that do exist. The minimum the minimum requirements, I think that's going to depend on each country and even each community to determine, and that really has to come from the citizens. What are the citizens' basic needs, and are those being met? And over time, that can be the standards can be raised, but I don't think you can create artificial standards and just instantly hope to be there. That really has to take place over time. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of foods and spices and those types of ingredients that are highly sought after in the United States and many other countries around the world. So it's just a matter of finding a way to get those items out to bigger markets, and I think transportation, and then customs to through other countries. You've got other neighboring countries you've got to deal with in order to get those goods out of Nepal. It's not just getting them out of Nepal. You got to go through other countries in order to get to their end markets, and that can have significant cost and challenges. It's been a very warm welcome for us, and we take that news back to America and let them know that this is a very welcoming, warm place, and we would hope that others would come and visit and build relationships here. Even before our sister city relationship, our neighboring city of Boulder, Colorado, has a sister city relationship with Kathmandu. And that was also the work of Narayan Shrestha to help get that relationship formed. So there are many people from Nepal that live in Colorado, and they have strong ties back here to Nepal. And so it's great to celebrate those, people that live in our community now, and celebrate them with the people here of Nepal. The sister city relationship, it really it forms the platform for the residents of each city to build upon that relationship. The idea is the government is not the relationship, it's really the people of each city, but defining it as a sister city, it provides an elevated level of visibility to all of the residents to say that the city is behind that idea. So I think because any individual can interact with other individuals, but having the definition of sister city, it means that the cities on both sides believe in the idea of cultural and arts exchange and business and tourism and that sort of thing. Yeah, that's a great question. it's an ongoing thing to keep people interested and engaged, and I think that you want to have things that individual residents can participate in and learn about. And one of the ways is the pen pal relationship that we have between the two schools on each side. Saria Boarding School here in Cadbury writes letters to our students in Superior Elementary School and El Dorado Elementary School in Superior, Colorado. And that's a way for individual residents, even though they're young residents, but they are getting involved and they're learning about the different cultures through those letters. We're also having a variety of programs in Superior, and I would expect that on the Cadbury side, they'll be doing things so that residents here can learn more about Superior. How does our trash system work?
Yes.
Yes. There's a company, and in all throughout the United States, it's mostly private companies that do trash collection, and either the municipality pays for it and then collects tax money to pay for that service, or residents have to pay individually, and that is the case in Superior. That we don't collect tax for waste collection. Residents pay for that. And so that it's drinking water system is one of the most expensive components that we spend money on in the town of Superior. Our water comes from snow melt in the Rocky Mountains and comes down to the town, and then the town has various equipment to filter and clean the water, and then it's distributed by pipe to individual homes. Transportation is kind of a mixture between, the real core of transportation is the roadway system, and the town and state and federal government in the United States is, depending on where the roads are located, that's who pays for and builds and maintains the roads. So that's really the main part of the transportation system, and then people have private cars, or there's buses and other ways that people use those roads. Of our city, residents have different jobs. Some people work in the stores and restaurants and offices within Superior, but many of them go out. They travel to other jobs, either government jobs. There's a lot of high technology jobs. People work in the computer industry, in the aerospace industry, and there's many different occupations. So most of the people in Superior travel out to other communities for their actual work. Yes, definitely. A lot of people travel to Colorado for touring. Both we have national parks that people are very popular for people out of state visiting national parks. We have ski resorts where people go snow skiing in the wintertime, hiking and bicycling in the summertime, and many other activities in and around Colorado. Yeah, I think that it really is important for cities to form relationships with other cities, both locally in our communities. We try to work with our neighbors to build relationships, because a lot of the issues and challenges that we face, like transportation or homelessness or climate or any other challenges, they don't respect normal borders, and so you have to work with your neighbors. And then likewise, building this relationship with Cadbury, we're able to learn from your community, what are your challenges and how are you dealing with them, and how can we share ideas and that sort of thing. Yes, we just want to provide good service to our residents so that they have the things that they value, which the big things that people value is clean water, good streets to drive on, safety in the community. Is the area safe? Are there good schools and good parks and recreation? So all of those, it's a lot of things, but our residents, those are the things that are generally most important to residents. Yeah, well, it's a democratic system where we elect individuals to run for local, county, state, and federal office. No, the thing about most local jurisdiction elections is that they're nonpartisan, or meaning no political party. So I do not run as one party or the other for mayor or our council. We do not have political parties for local elections. In the town of Superior, we don't really get involved with foreign policy, but that's a federal government issue. I mean, people have their own individual viewpoints on foreign policy, but that's really a federal government. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is are for people to what we're seeing happening in the United States right now is a lot of people are changing jobs and moving, maybe getting new skills for a different job, deciding they didn't want to have a previous job. So there's a lot of movement right now in jobs. The ability for people to work remotely and so on has caused a lot of change in people's workplace and jobs that they want to hold. Am I satisfied in my work?
Yes.
Yes. I'm just finishing my role as mayor. I've been serving as mayor for 8 years, and most people in local elected positions in the United States have other jobs. So you don't. So being mayor or being on a council is not a full-time job, and we don't get paid very much, and so it's not a full-time job. And I don't even have an office at the town building. I don't even have an office, and so that was a big difference to me to come and visit the mayor's office here in Cadbury, and I don't have a mayor's office. So, but getting back to your question, yes, I've been satisfied with my role serving as mayor, but I'm also looking forward to turning over to the next mayor and kind of getting back into my private life. I help people buy and sell houses. I'm a real estate agent as my regular business, so I'll be happy to get back into that.
Thank you, Mr. Folsom, for your valuable time for this program.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. At last, I will goodbye to you all audience at the time. Bye-bye and have a good time.